Hello and welcome to the Water Road. This time I'm in Cheshire at the lock closest to Barbridge Junction on the Middlewich branch of the Shropshire Union Canal, because the local branch of the Inland Waterways Association is holding a lock wind weekend where they work the lock for boats passing through. At the same time they'll tell you about the work of the IWA and do some fundraising. Now, although this is a narrow lock, so only one boat can go through at a time, it's quite a deep one, at nearly 11.5 feet. And it's also one of the busiest in the country. It regularly appears in the top 5 busiest locks, and in 2024 recorded more than 6,400 passages. But the name of the lock is an issue all in itself. If you see it written down on a map maybe, or on the sign on the lock side, it's spelled Cholmondeston, or perhaps Cholmondeston. But it seems the locals from the village of the same name say something different. We'll try to get to the bottom of what we should be calling it on this edition of The Water Road. So I'm with Mike, and you're the chair of the local IWA association. So just explain what you're doing here today.
Right, well, we're having what we call a lock wind over the weekend. It's basically a fundraising event for the Inland Waterways Association and our branch. And we're helping boaters through the lock, doing all the hard work for them. And we've got lots of lovely homemade produce for sale as well. And hopefully we'll have a good weekend in the sunshine.
So just tell me about your branch then. What sort of area do you cover?
Our branch is the Shrewsbury and North Wales branch, and it's one of 30-odd national branches. We cover a very big area from Middlewich and Telford in the east to the Anglesey and the Mid Wales coast in the west. And that includes some lovely canals, the Shropshire Union and the Llangollen and the Montgomery canals.
So just tell me a bit about what the branch does then, because a lot of it is sort of campaigning really, isn't it?
Yes, we are a campaigning organisation. We don't actually run the canals, but we do campaign for their protection and their restoration. A lot of our work is fundraising. We lobby national and local government. For instance, we sit on the stakeholder group for the Poncasilta Aqueduct World Heritage Site, where gives us the opportunity to engage with several of the local councils and Canal and River Trust, the navigation authority.
Funding is a big thing for the canals at the moment, isn't it? And I think the IWA is taking quite a big role in that.
Yeah. We're one of the founder organisations behind the Fund Britain's Waterways campaign. With the current spending environment, this is going to be one for the long haul, I think. But we have to do whatever we can to keep putting pressure on politicians, both local and national, to recognise the value of the waterways, their heritage, the well-being opportunities, not just the leisure boating side of things, because it's so much more than that.
So apart from campaigning, are there practical things that the IWA does as well?
Yes, different branches all do different things, depending on the availability of their volunteers. So some branches hold waterways clean-ups, for example. Others, in partnership with Canal and River Trust, tackle offside vegetation clearance. We tend to support the local restoration groups in our area. We've got 2 very active ones. First is on the Montgomery Canal, is the Shropshire Union Canal Society, and on the Shrewsbury and Newport canals there's the Canal Trust working there, particularly at Wappenshaw Junction.
And one thing I need to ask you is about the name of this lock, because the pronunciation is something special, isn't it? Because it's spelt Cholmondeston.
I was really hoping you wouldn't ask me that one. I've heard it pronounced so many different ways, and a lot of people call it Cholmston. But as I don't live in the village, I'm probably not the best person to ask the correct pronunciation.
Okay, so we'll leave that for further investigation then.
Yeah, I think that's probably a wise move.
the other end.
So you're on a hire boat and you've turned up here and found that all the work's being done for you.
We've come away for a long weekend with as a big family group, and we've turned up here and the volunteers are manning the locks for us.
And were you pleased about that, or were you a bit disappointed?
It's great to see people who care about the waterways out doing their thing, we're happy either way. You know, we're having a lovely day, the sun's shining, and we're out on a boat. So.
And they've enticed you into their tent, I think.
They certainly persuaded my mum to get some nice fresh bread, and they have enticed my mum into the tent, and she's gone back again. So they're clearly not having to try that hard.
You've just come through here on your hire boat and you've been faced with all this going on. What did you make of it?
I think it's brilliant. It's great that they're getting volunteers helping us tourists along our way, showing us how to do things correctly. We've had some tips, and I think it's great that they've given us some information about what the Inland Waterways Association actually do to help.
And you've been enticed into the tent, and I see you've been enticed to part with some money as well.
I have, yes. We've got some beautiful strawberries to try, and we've got some fantastic strawberry jam to take home too, and some cakes to have some coffee at the next coffee stop.
And did you know anything about the IWA beforehand?
Not a thing.
So you've learned something as well?
We certainly have, yes, about how, historically where it started from and how they campaign to keep things going and work together.
Thank you very much. Have fun.
So with Alison and Philippa, and you're two of the volunteers from the IWA who are doing the lock wine, you seem to have been quite busy the last few minutes.
Yeah, we've had a sudden rush of boats going hither and yon, and we had two hire boats that were actually in convoys, so that was an extra lock of water that we had to use. We were trying to minimise turning the lock as much as possible, but yes, it's been quite busy in this last half hour. It's
And
great.
what sort of reaction are you getting from the boaters as they come through?
It's a mixed reaction. Many don't know the difference between CRT and inland waterways, but they're all very positive. And as soon as you explain what we are doing, they've been very generous, and it's been wonderful. And they're really enjoying the cake.
And I suppose this is one of the things, isn't it? Because lots of people don't know about the IWA, and you're raising the profile.
That is as much part of the objective as doing the fundraising bit, getting people to understand what we are, and maybe one day joining.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it is quite important, the campaigning side of it as well, isn't it?
Oh, hugely, yeah. I mean, in this district we have two major restoration campaigns going anyway, and the rest of it is all elderly. You've got lots of stuff to talk about with CRT, lots of campaigning to do.
Up at the lock, we were having a discussion about what the lock is actually called, how the name of the local village is pronounced. And to find out, I've come down to Venetian Marina, which is just below the lock, and Nick from Cover and Canvas is here. And you actually live on the marina, I think, don't you?
I do, yeah.
So how is Cholmondeston, or what is it? What is it?
So visitors to the marina, everybody calls it Cholmondeston, and we would tell people, yes, it's Cholmondeston because it's easy and that's the way it's spelled, but actually it's pronounced Cholmston, so it's Cholmondeston Lock.
So does this cause a bit of confusion then?
Absolutely, because there's a place just up the road which is called Cholmondeley, where there's a castle, so that's how people pronounce it, but it's actually Chumley Castle. So yeah, it there's quite a lot of things around here. There's a place called Winbury, which is spelled Y-Bunbury, but everybody says, all right, okay, what does that mean? And it's actually pronounced Winbury. So that's just another example.
So if you come here based on the map, you say one thing, but if you live here, you say another.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's Cholmondeston Lock.
Excellent. So we'll go with that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's all from this episode of The Water Road from Cholmondeston Lock on the Middlewich branch. The podcast is produced and presented by me, Adam Porter. If you're enjoying the series, please follow or subscribe so you'll be alerted when new episodes are published. And if you can give us a nice review, it really does help other people to find us. I also like receiving your comments, and if you have any waterways related questions, leave a comment and I'll try to answer them. And don't forget that all previous episodes are always available to listen to. Thank you for listening to The Water Road.